I jump the flying triangle. He lifts me up, and I'm like literally like all the way on top of him. He's carrying me around. And what's his name? The ref is right behind me, like holding me. And while he's holding me, Bryce is like, I'm gonna put him down. He's like, I'm gonna do it. And I was like, no, don't do it. I'm gonna let go. And then he's like, I'm gonna do it. He's looking at like the UFC guy, Stefan Techi, and he's like, I'm gonna do it. And then he's laughing, and I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, just recenter us, please. And then we recenter, and I throw up another one. But he's smart to it this time, and he misses it. But I figured he would, and I enter the legs off of that and hit another inside heel hook.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Rafa Esparza, coming to you with another great installment of the Grappling Hour. We have a true wonderful guest here with us today. This young man continues to be a beast. We'll get to him in a second, but before we even transition to talking about him, we should point out that he is an enlightened individual. This is a young man who's actually doing the real tape study. And by that, I mean watching episodes of Better Call Saul. So that's how you know this kid, he doesn't waste his time on just generic bad TV. He picks top tier ones. But before we get back to him, a couple quick reminders. First and foremost, if you like the show, I would love it if you head on over to our Patreon. That is patreon.com/grappling hour. If you go there for just $5 a month, you can see my interviews 30 days before anybody else. And for a few extra dollars, you can see extra bonus content not available anywhere else, including segments called Roast Raf, where people roast my competition footage, including Gary Tonin, who made fun of one of my matches. And it was okay. Gary, as an aspiring comedian, B-. Grappler, A+, of course. But like, comic, B-, almost C+, depends on the day. So you got that. You can also check a tape study segment where we watch matches with the athletes themselves and find out more about their incredible techniques and get extra bonus content that's not available anywhere else. So you can check that out. That is patreon.com/grappling hour. Also, if you like this merch, check out the shirt, check out my hoodie, check out the new tanks that we're putting out. You can find that at rafesparza.com/merch. Now, I hear the hoodies keep you warm when you're out there competing, so keep an eye on that. Additionally, you can also like, comment, and subscribe. And if you don't know what you want to comment on right now, by the end of this video, I will give you a prompt in which you can contribute to the conversation. And last but not least, if you enjoyed the discussions we have here on the show, you can join us on Discord to continue those discussions. All right, this young man, he's very good. I mean, he had an incredible run at the PGF and then had another incredible run at EBI where he became their champion, one of their youngest. And this is a young man who, he needed a little time. He's busy. He worked hard. He wanted to play hard a little bit. So we are finally happy to get him back on the show so we could celebrate his success. And we just recently talked to him, but when you win big things, you deserve a lot of respect. And for that, we talked to our champ, our friend, one Landon Elmore. Landon, how are you doing, sir?
Oh, what's up, bro? I'm doing good. Just relaxing.
Okay. So there's a lot to go over. You just went on vacation. So where were you? What have you been up to? Because it sounds like you've been getting around everywhere, sir.
Yeah, dude. So like literally 2 days after EBI, it's this place in Texas. It's called Concan, Texas, and there's this river there called the Frio River, and there are like cabins along the river, and my grandparents pay for my family members to stay there. And this year I was like, I want to go, so it happened to fall right after EBI, so it was like a fun vacation right after. So basically, you go, you stay in the cabin, and then you hang out in the river. You go tube down the river, you swim. It's a really nice like nature getaway.
So that's amazing. I'm glad you got that opportunity because you deserve some time off. I would say this though. One second. I would say this though. So you deserve this vacation, but for you, are you a person that likes to go on vacation? Is it hard for you to go on vacation? I think planning it right after EBI is amazing and perfect and a great way to decompress after a lot of hard training. But is it easy for you to kind of let go and get on like a vacation version of yourself?
Yeah, honestly, I think I only enjoy it if I feel like I deserve it. So like, if I'm not training right, or if I haven't really like done anything huge and I take a vacation, then I think I just feel like unproductive, and it just bugs me. Like I don't feel like crazy about it. I just feel like I'm not doing anything. So like it's fitting that it was right after EBI because I won and then I got to hang out for like a week and do absolutely nothing. So that is the moment where like I really enjoyed it. But let's say like I didn't, I would probably be like, ugh.
Yeah, I'm not the best on vacation, honestly, because I always want to work. So my brain's always thinking like, "Oh, what can I do for the show?" Or "Did I follow up on this?" Or "Did I write this?" Or "Did I edit this?" And I really struggle to do that. And even when I would go on those PGF back and forths, I
Yeah.
started at a certain point requiring myself to go on a Thursday to go train, or like while I was out there, go do something for myself or get my brain off of this sort of stuff. So I try to build in little safeguards for not overworking. But I'm glad you were able to go with your family. That's some great time. And then yesterday you celebrated your birthday. So how old are you now, sir?
I turned 19. After EBI, a lot of people thought I was already 19. But I literally had like a month left until I was. But now I'm 19.
Well, congratulations. How did you celebrate the birthday?
I went and had sushi with my family. Sushi is one of my favorite foods. So I went back to Houston where my family lives and we ate and had a good time.
Okay. You brought up something, which is my love of sushi as well. So I love sushi as well. I want to know, what is the order? Like when you go down, is it all you can eat sushi, or is it an order?
Yeah.
Oh, it's all you can eat? Okay. Start me with your first order. Like when they come up to you, what are the first things you check off for?
I'm just gonna go off of what I ordered yesterday. I said get me miso soup. I said get me three. I said three salmon, three the imitation crab, and then I said three orders of fish eggs, and then I think the I ordered a TNT roll after that.
Okay. Okay. I kind of get a sense of what you like to order now. Here's how I usually start off. So you mentioned miso soup. So you're starting with an appetizer, which bold move for an all you can eat setup. Because when I'm going all you can eat now, I'm trying to get my money's worth. And I got to tell you, our all you can eat joint that I love out here recently made it so that if you go and let's say I go with my wife, you both have to do all you can eat or you both have to not do all you can eat. And
Um,
I used to be the one that would do all you can eat, and she used to just order a la carte. And so now I'm subjecting her to like, well, you better get your money's worth because we
and I
didn't come
got
here for nothing. So tough shit, babe. You really got to pull your weight here. And she now will tell me, she's like, you become so infused with sashimi. So like, I'll order salmon sashimi to start. I'll also at least warm up with usually a Philly roll and usually like a rainbow roll just to kind of get my bearings. But
the
then
rainbow
next
rolls.
order, I'm going baked something, baked Alaskan, uh, baked salmon, that kind of stuff on one of those. And then I'll always try a random roll. So I'll always like pick something off that I go, oh, this looks kind of interesting. But I've recently
Mhm.
developed a little bit of spice taste. Are you a
Okay.
spicy eater or do you just kind of keep things a little more plain?
I love spicy things.
So do you end up getting any spicy kind of rolls while you're there?
Not you're gonna laugh at me. Not usually. Like when I'm talking about spicy, like it's literally like every other food but sushi.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. Like it's just never when I'm eating sushi, it's never a thought to me like I want something spicy. I'm genuinely just like, what's the yummiest thing I can get?
Fair enough. So when you say you're doing spice, what kind of spice are you doing right now? Are you doing regular like tapatio or like a hot sauce, or what do you call spice for you?
I like putting sriracha on a lot of
Mm.
things. It's pretty good. I'll put it on white rice. I'll put it on eggs. I'll put it on a bunch of things.
Have you tried doing any of like the hot ones, hot sauces at all? Like, have
I
you?
remember. I really want to. I really, really want to. I just haven't gone around to it.
Okay, okay. My wife for birthdays or Christmas, every once in a while, will get me those bottles of hot sauce. And now one of our coaches, when he travels, he'll come and bring us different hot sauces from different places. And I
Oh
think
no way.
that's the best kind of gift. Like every coach needs to find their thing. Danaher, we all know, is giving out knives and telling you stories behind those knives. I don't think every
Mm,
coach should do that because I fear giving knives to almost 90% of the people who do jujitsu. Having
not a
said
good.
that, whenever they do hot sauce, I literally looked and I was like, that's a cool thing to do. So I appreciated him doing that. But let's get back to this. You recently competed at the PGF and you had an
Yes.
incredible run. How would you encapsulate that 6-week experiment between all of the training, between the draft, between the working with the team? Like, how do you describe that entire experience from your perspective?
I mean, it was a unique experience, and I feel like it was like a once in a lifetime type of experience because like I've never seen or been a part of anything that was that long. The draft was really cool. I brought the Enigma belt I just won. I went for like $1,600, and then the actual season was great. I got to train with Andy Varela and a bunch of his boys like Spencer Ortiz, Brady Branscombe, Derek Rayfield. They were all amazing. That was really cool. And then being able to go back to the PGF venue week to week was really cool because you got to like I like the week to week format because you got to strategize after. So let's say you competed one week and you see who you have the next week, then you get to come back to the gym and strategize after that. I like that a lot. I feel like if I did the day to day one, I would still do really well, but I feel like I prefer time to train and strategize.
It does, I think, bode a little bit closer to your background working with the team that you do. There is a scientific approach. So that checks out and makes sense. I guess I would be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that you're wearing a chain, and I can't help but understand or question if one Andy Varela had any influence on this newfound swag that you seem to have here, sir.
No, man, my girlfriend got it for me like way before.
Oh,
I
okay.
just I just like the chain a lot, but he definitely had some style influence on me.
Okay, well, respect to your girlfriend then. That's amazing. It's just I didn't expect you to show up here looking like The Rock because we already had Brady Hilton do that, but the like sweater, the black and the chain,
Mm.
it's a vibe, sir.
I was trying to go for something new today. I don't remember what I wore last time. It might have been like an IBJJF shirt. So I was like, let me look like semi decent for this one.
You know, we're stepping it up here. Maybe the next time we do an interview, you're even in a suit. But I'll tell you this much. I, now that you have worn this, do feel underdressed, and I would feel worse about it if I wasn't wearing my merch. So I feel like it kind of evens out. But I'll tell you this. If you dress up a certain way, like if you get to a collared shirt, there's no way I'm not wearing a collared shirt. If you're wearing a suit jacket, there's no way I'm not wearing a suit jacket. So I always have stuff on hand. But when I saw you in the preview monitor before we started this today, I go, look at him. My man's dressing up for this. Like, this is how you know he feels like he's on Ariel Hawani right now. He is dressing for the occasion. So thank you for doing that, sir.
Like next time it'll be a suit jacket.
I mean, I think it would be a surprise, but I think for the majority of the time you saw me live in person, I was in a suit. So it's not even a surprise that I would do that.
I'm used to seeing you.
And I have two modes. It's either training gear, so like sweats and rash guards and t-shirts and all that sort of stuff, where I feel like I look like a bum, or this, like when I'm suited up and it's all like ready to go on the show. So I like being in a suit. I have no problem with it. Okay, Landon, you were very missed at the playoffs. So what
Yeah.
exactly, if we can ask, did happen? Because so many people were expecting you to come in and they had a big question, which was, could you win the prize? And you
Mm.
had been such a spoiler in so many different respects that there was a little bit of a disappointment that we didn't get to see if we'd answer that question. So what
Mm.
exactly took place that kept you out of the playoffs for the PGF?
Mm. Honestly, I came back from the regular season and was training, and I was like, I feel good, but I really, really want to just stock up and work for EBI. And I was like, I'm sure all the people at the playoffs will put on a good show. Even while I was watching the playoffs, like I was seeing in the comments, like people talking about like what might have happened to me. Some dude was saying like I won the lottery. It was really funny, but I know it was funny. I basically just wanted to throw my eggs in one basket, and I knew I could do well at EBI. And when I actually got there, I won the thing. So I feel like a part of that was motivation for me to actually win EBI.
Well, you chose right in terms of your instinct. You did end up winning EBI. It
Mm.
was jarring and it was so weird for me because there were so many moments that happened there that I kept thinking, like, well, what if Landon was here? And like, how would he have played? And so
Mhm.
in my brain, because I have an appreciation for your game, there was like this little bit of like, damn, I wish we knew. But as you
Yeah.
mentioned, those two events being back to back and you getting on EBI kind of made it where there's a lot of reasons why you would do that. So, were you
Yeah.
watching the PGF finale as you were getting ready for that EBI experience?
Oh yeah, 100%. I stayed tuned the whole way through. I got to see every single match. I got to see Jet and Matt. I think it's Mosh or Mash. That was a really good. It was quick, but it was a really nice exchange from Jet. Dominic and Rafael was a really really nice match to watch. There's a lot to take from that if you really study it. And then obviously the finals match between Dominic and Jet was really good. Some nice overtime tips as well. So I was watching closely.
Okay. And for EBI, you weren't having to cut weight really or do any of that. So my man was just chilling. Do you feel like you have really come into your own in this weight class? Because it seems to fit you well, but it also seems like while other people are stressed out trying to make weight and come in with some power, you do just fine where you are.
Mhm. I think that does play a factor, honestly. Like people, starving themselves, and I'm coming in like off Chipotle. Like I'm not even lying. Like the night before of EBI, I had Chipotle. Even right now, I have Chipotle. Like,
Was
that's
that
what
the
I'm
dinner
saying. Like
tonight, sir?
it was. Like here's the burrito. That's the second burrito, by the way. That's not the first one.
Oh, I was about to say, I was like, you do understand. I was going to feel terrible if we had somehow made it so that you were not eating right now. Like, I was legit going to
No,
feel bad to be
no.
like, do you need a second to go eat your food,
I
sir? Like, I
couldn't.
don't.
I couldn't. I couldn't finish it. I was like, let me just do this, and maybe I'll be hungry after.
I mean, I'm glad that's the case, but in your particular case, where does this go? Because I remember a time when I could do all this stuff, but like, are you a big eater because you just don't look it?
Yeah, that's funny. Not really, honestly. I mean, you're right. Like I eat. It's I won't lie. It's an issue for me to like actually try to eat and gain like weight. Like I don't know what it is. Like I feel like anything I eat falls right off. Um, so that's like the next big goal for the I guess 2026 is try to actually like eat in a way where I gain weight and I'm not competing underweight at 155. Even though I do well, like I'd still like to have some size on me.
Well, especially as you grow older, because you're still possibly somebody who will go up or down a little bit, but there's such a
Right.
weird, compelling case about where you stand right now where it just works for you. And I feel bad because as a coach, we like to tell our jiu-jitsu kids, don't cut weight. And I say,
Mm.
just play where you play, but understand somebody may come in with a slight advantage here. It's just, you're not fighting. It's not quite the same.
Yeah.
And then inevitably, I'll have two guys who want to be in the same weight class, and I'll go, can you guys just pick one up, one down? Like, I promise you, you don't want to face your teammates. If you do, you have to actually have a match. I'm not going to coach either of you. I'm just going to yell out times and points. I don't want to do that. And I recently had our guys compete at a Naga, and one didn't go up and one didn't go down. And lo and behold, in one of the semifinals, there they are. And they're looking at me, and I go, I mean, I tried telling you guys, this is it. Have fun. So I feel like where you're at right now, you look good. So when everybody else is freaking out about their weight and getting into this whole mode, what's going through your mind in terms of prep for EBI? Because you mentioned if you weren't going to do the PGF, you were concentrating all of your energy toward that. So what did that entail for you? And it's such a short amount of time. Was there even a camp to be accounted for that?
I'd say it was less of a camp and more of like just a short window to strategize. So obviously I brushed up on my overtime. Funnily enough, I didn't even have to go to overtime. So I was like, okay. So I worked a lot on my EBI overtime skills, working from the back and working from the armbar. But I mostly worked on like submissions from everywhere, really. You saw in the Bryce match, I hit that flying triangle. That's something I planned on doing. I was mostly just thinking about being relentless with submissions and hoping one would hit.
Fair. Okay. So what was like, wait, I'm so sorry. It's taking me a second to remember because it's been a minute. Was this in Texas as well?
Yes, this was in San Antonio.
Okay. So not a terrible amount of travel. It's at least in the home state. So easy enough to get through. But for you, when this is happening, tell us a little bit about the travel and the getting there for you. And what does it feel like to then see everybody? Were you inundated with questions about the PGF once you got there? Were people just like, hey, man, it's cool that you're in this? Like, what was the scene and the feel like when you did arrive in person for that event?
When I arrived in person for EBI?
Yep.
It was really cool. So I actually, Reese, my teammate, he told me he was driving to San Antonio. So I asked if I could hitch a ride. So we both went. I remember we had Denny's the morning of with Derek, Rodman, and Brady. And funnily enough, Keith. So it was just cool. I got to hang out. I mean, obviously, I know those people because I just spent like 5 weeks with them. So it was cool. I feel like I know a lot of people in the Jiu-Jitsu community, so it wasn't anything like new. I was just like, what's up?
Fair. So now you get into the competition. I'd love to go match by match. And I know it might be a minute since because it's been over a month, but you strike me as somebody who remembers your matches match by match. And if you need some memory jogs, I'm happy to help out here. But talk us through your very first match at EBI.
So my first match was against this guy named Roman. I fought him twice before that. First time, I won't lie, it was a close decision. I won it, but he kind of took it to me. I only won based off of one exchange. And then we fought a couple weeks later at ADCC, where I only won on points. It was some mount points or something. So I've never submitted this guy. So obviously the name of the game in EBI is to submit your opponent because it's sub only. So I was like, how am I going to do this? So I figured I'd jump guard and look to enter into some kind of inside heel hook. He's the type of guy that's like, he's pretty flexible. So like, it's hard to tap him with like regular things like ankle locks or any sort of ankle lock. So I was like, I need to get something that's like dead to right. So I ended up landing on a nice inside heel hook and I brought it across my body. And like I said, he's flexible. So he managed to roll like twice, but I was able to finish it. So I factor that into my game plan as well.
Nice. Now, when this is happening, are you a person that's watching the other matches or are you just kind of secluded away and just kind of keeping to yourself?
I loved watching jiu-jitsu. So even after like I finish my matches, like I'll stay and watch like whoever else. Like I'm an enjoyer. Like I love watching it. I like studying people. So after my match, I sat and watched all the other matches until it was my turn.
Okay, that's cool. And it's a nice juxtaposition because we get so many guys who like to tell me like, "No, man, I don't watch other people's matches." And
Yeah.
I don't think of myself as a great jiu-jitsu practitioner, but like a pretty decent studier. And it does bug me when people don't do tape study because I'm like, well, the information's there. Don't freak
It's
yourself
right
out.
there. Like, why would you not use it?
Yeah, it baffles and confuses me. And I do understand for some people that might be helpful. But I have said, if you don't tape study, somebody on your team should. So
Yeah.
at the very least, somebody has your back in that way. But it's refreshing to hear that somebody goes, well, not only do I like it, but I'm learning and I'm also analyzing for both the tournament purposes and for your own education. So I think that's a really good approach.
Yeah. Most of all, I enjoy it. So when I watch other matches, it makes me feel good.
Nice. Okay. So let's go into match number 2, sir.
Okay. Oh yeah, match number 2 was against Mr. Bryce Mitchell. I knew he'd be kind of scrappy and strong going into it, but I also wanted to do something exciting because I knew there'd be a lot of eyes on that match, just because he's a popular UFC fighter. So I hit that funny flying triangle. The rules in EBI are if you get lifted past the hips in a submission, you're supposed to let it go. So it's funny because I jumped the flying triangle, he lifts me up, and I'm like literally like all the way on top of him. He's carrying me around. And what's his name? The ref is right behind me, like holding me. And while he's holding me, Bryce is like, I'm gonna put him down. He's like, I'm gonna do it. And I was like, no, don't do it. I'm gonna let go. And then he's like, I'm gonna do it. He's looking at like the UFC guy, Stefan Techi, and he's like, I'm gonna do it. And then he's laughing, and I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, just recenter us, please. And then we recenter, and I throw up another one. But he's smart too this time, and he misses it. But I figured he would, and I enter the legs off of that and hit another inside heel hook.
Nice. And legitimately, Bryce's jiu-jitsu is very solid and he's got an incredible foundation that he's been able to play upon in the UFC. But for you, that's a really big win, man. So what did it feel like in terms of momentum after you submit this very accomplished UFC fighter?
Yeah, I mean, Bryce is a really cool guy. So after that, I mean, I wasn't gonna like freak out on him or anything. I was just like, he was super respectful, so I was super respectful. I was like, yo, like that was awesome. He said I was awesome. But inside my head and heart, I knew I had a high chance of winning that day. So all of my focus went to like, let's win today.
That's fair. Let's go into your third match now.
Okay, match number 3 was against my teammate Reese. We actually talked about it the night before. We were like, wouldn't that be funny if we fought? And then we actually ended up fighting. Because the match before that, he beat Rodman, Derek.
Mm.
And that was a really good match to watch. So my match with Bryce was relatively quick, and Reese's was pretty long and went to overtime. So in my head, I knew I had like the cardio advantage. Reese is really good. We roll a lot in the training room together. Obviously, we're the same size. So I just wanted to like just throw the kitchen sink at him and hoped that something would hit, and ended up landing on a outside heel hook, and I was able to finish it. So it made me feel happy, because me and Reese like we scrap a lot in the room. So I mean, obviously it sucks to fight your teammates. Like I hate doing that, but because we're also similar in size, we're always in the same tournament. So I'm used to it, but I don't like it. So I mean, I just have to deal with it.
Well, I know I mentioned a little bit earlier to my students how I tell them if you can go one up, one down, that'd be really helpful. It's also
Yeah.
hard when it's a big tournament and you're both worthy competitors for that prize. And that anything being different, you'd be in his corner and cheering him on. It's just, why wouldn't
Yeah.
you want to stake your claim as to being number one? So I guess the thing that I want to tell my students is I'm like, if you're going to compete, at least make sure it's for money and that you have this opportunity to do something hella dope for it.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, it was cool. I mean, I love Reese, and we even teach kids classes together at Kingsway. So, I mean, there's no bad blood after that, and there shouldn't be.
No, and it didn't seem like it, but it was very fun to be with you on this journey as we get to your finals, because you help things move along so fast with your matches. But
Mhm.
as you mentioned, and I'm sure you felt the same way, this is a very solid EBI all around. You brought up
It
the
was.
Derek Rayfield and Reese match. That was awesome. Like, that match was really, really solid. So I felt like so many people, even if they didn't win, had really good showcase matches.
Mhm. Yeah, that match was really good. I'm gonna bring up Derek again. Derek's match with Ethan Krellinston was pretty crazy.
Banger.
That had me like freaking out on like on the side of the mat. I was like, Rodman, and he was like talking about, he was like, who's number one? I'm number one, and I was like, I was just clapping up for him.
You
Trying to
know, it
think
was
some other
wild.
good matches.
I was interested to see how Ethan was going to do, and he was slotted in a very high seed. And I was
Yeah,
saying my only concern is just his activeness, like being active in the
yeah,
sport. And he's an incredible technician. He's very good at what he does. But him getting paired up with Derek was probably one of those instances where he didn't think he was going to get Derek. Fate changes. He gets Derek. And stylistically, that's a crazy matchup because Derek has nothing to lose and is going to throw everything
yeah.
at him. So while it's not super great for Ethan, it was great for audiences. Like, I just thought Derek's inclusion in that event made that a very entertaining event as well.
I agree. I mean, and he literally was only in there because Brady, Brady got hurt after the PGF, and Derek was like, so. I mean, I thought it was crazy how he came in on like such short notice and actually like shook the like shook up the jar. Like it was really cool. Like he did some nice things.
As I mentioned a little bit earlier, on my vacation, if you would, when we finished with our duties for the PGF, I made it so that next day I went to go train at 10th Planet. So literally, PGF is done. I went to one of their classes and I ran into Derek, who was making weight. And I go, uh-oh. And then logically, I just put it together. I go, Brady's out. And he goes, yeah. I go, well, I did see him not look great. It's like a character getting shot on TV and being like, he's fine. He only got shot on a
Yeah, like
television show. People live there. It's like, right. Yeah, he did get injured. Yeah, because I remembered going up to Brady and being like, well, you still got EBI. And he gave me this look like, fam, I don't know. And I just felt bad, man. But Brady and you guys formed such a bond. Like you, Christos, Brady, Andy, like that whole team really came together. And I knew it had to be hard for you to also see, like, you're happy for Derek, but you also, I'm sure, felt for Brady because he's such a lovable character in this whole community that we've
Brady's
got.
one of my best friends. I talk to him like every day. So like after that happened, I was like, dang, like my boy Brady. And I texted him, and he was like, I won't be able to. I don't think I'll be able to do it. And I was like, no. So, but I mean, after PGF, like we've stayed in touch, and he's like one of my boys.
He's good people. I like him a lot. Are you sure the text didn't read something more akin to, no, man, no, me can't compete, no?
Yeah, honestly, I think he did say something like that.
You know,
I'm like, I'm not even
I
gonna like lie or exaggerate. He'll text me like that. I'm like, you're stupid enough.
I sent him a text. I'll send it to you later. That I said, this is perfectly encapsulating you, and it is something in that kind of vein. But he just there's something very rallying behind him. Like, you get behind him. He's a good guy. It seemed like when I watched you guys interact, the legit happiness you had when he got his submission toward the end of the season, it was just
Yeah.
like, yeah, like it's easy to see why you guys have such an appreciation for him. And he was one of the people who, when I first dropped in at 10th Planet for this PGF experience after media day, I just talked with him. I was rolling with him and I go, yeah, I kind of see it, dude. You're a nice guy and you've got good foundation, and I think you're only going to get better. You're similar to you, it's just like you're both purple belts, but that's some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like we need to put you on like a fast track, because I got to tell you this: between everybody saying you're 19, now you're 19, because I saw online what you were referencing earlier was the UFC being like, this 19-year-old phenom, and you can't just go up there and go, actually, it's
Excuse
18.
me. Yeah, like
But between that and this 18-year-old purple belt, it's just like, hey man, we can't do that branding because you're not quite a purple belt level. You might be a little more advanced.
thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, well, good. I'm glad you're acknowledging it. But let's get into your finale, because we like you a lot. Keith is a very good friend of the show. I figured it would be a good match. You got the better of Keith, and it was phenomenal. That finish was incredible. Walk us through that match, if you'd be so kind.
Yeah, honestly, my strategy came from his match with Gianni right before. I'm just gonna like summarize it. Basically, they were just trading positions like bottom to top, and I figured if I just pull guard and chase him around, I'm probably not gonna get anywhere because he's a fantastic leg locker. Like he probably knows what's coming. I was like, let me stay standing the entire match, and I don't want to go on bottom. And let's see what happens from there. I was like, maybe I could enter after he shoots. So I ended up doing like these crazy collar ties, like hoping that he would shoot in, and he did. I managed to roll into the legs and get one opportunity. It's actually pretty tight. I recall getting like a couple like air pops. Like it wasn't anything wild, but it made me feel good in the moment because I was like, oh dang, like I'm actually doing something to this guy that I've like watched forever. I was like, so that made me feel good. So after he escaped that first exchange and I got up and like bounced around, I was like, I feel like this next exchange is gonna be like where I win. In my head, I was like, I know I can do this. I end up stepping in and back stepping into cross ashi. I actually have both legs. So then I pass it over to my other hip and now I'm in like inside ashi, or the leg is on one side. And I know Keith is great at heel hooks. That's like his thing. Like I've seen him heel hook like great people. So I was like, let me go for the opposite approach and let me try ankle locking him. Just because I figured he's probably savvy to heel hooks. So instead of going for a heel hook from there like anybody would, I wrapped up an ankle lock and he ended up scooting out like you're supposed to against the heel hook, and it made the ankle lock that much more tighter. And I was able to send it. I don't know if you saw a photo that one of the photographers took, but it was nasty. Like you can see the ankle like just completely like separated from the leg. It's pretty nasty. So I'm sure he's doing fine now, but it felt good in the moment to be able to like do something like that to someone that I've studied for a long time and looked up to.
I definitely saw the photo. The photo has given me nightmares since I have seen it. But you can't ask for a better display of it. Like,
Mhm.
one, for your championship winning final match, it is a perfect encapsulation of your journey. It's just, to me, it just happened so fast. And it was not a super long match. And even in transition, a lot of us afford Keith this ability where you think like, oh, he'll get out of that, or he'll get around it, because there was some spinning, there was a little bit of an initial defense, but then once you locked it on, Keith doesn't tap to just nothing. Like, you had it, and I was so impressed. And there's a moment where I kind of saw you taking it all in. So in that moment, what were you thinking? Like, what did that actually mean to you to win EBI and contribute to a long line in your lineage who have dominated that event?
Honestly, it was more so proving to myself that I'm capable of doing something like that, like tapping a high level guy, winning a tournament that I watched for so long, and even had my coaches win. I mean, the last EBI champ at 155 was Gary, so I thought it was really cool how the next one was me. So I think in the moment I was just like, wow, like I really, obviously not made it, but like I was able to prove to myself that like I'm really good. Like, I don't know how else to say it. Like, I'm like pretty good at jiu-jitsu and I'm able to win something like that. And then after that, the thought of 20,000 came in my mind because I had 4 submissions and I was like, oh, and then, everything else just piled on top of it.
Okay. So let's do some math here. You
Mm.
won some money at PGF. And then you also won EBI. Last time we spoke, you said there was going to be a cat purchase. Where are we on this Bengal cat purchase that is clearly influenced by Andy Varela?
Yeah, that is definitely 100% influenced by Andy. Um, Honestly, I'm debating it right now because the cat that I do have, he gets stressed out a lot by other cats. So like, if I do get a Bengal, which I'm still seriously planning on, I have to like have them meet first and see if it'll stress my cat. His name is Ashy. See if it'll stress him out now, or maybe they'll get along. If they get along, I'd be more than happy to have one. But I don't want him to live life being stressed. So it's like up for debate, but I have to do a lot of like preparation before I do that.
So when you say you've done some thinking about it, have you researched it? Have you gone to go see Bengal cats? Like, where are you in this R&D development?
I mean, I don't know anybody in Austin that like breeds Bengals or has any. I just know like where Andy got his, and I was like, maybe I could like go back to Vegas and see what that looks like. Like I haven't like fully fleshed it out, but the thought was to go back to Vegas sometime soon and maybe check out the person that Andy buys from and see like what they have and then start planning it out from there. The main issue was Ashy because I didn't want him to freak out. So
Right. We have a photo of my dog, my first dog, the minute we brought home our second dog, and it was where we said she looked like she was the most betrayed. Like, still shot of her going like, you did this to me. And it's just as they met. And to this day, we like to say, like, she just looks at this other dog with content, like, this is the worst thing in my life. So it's rough, but they have an understanding. They get along fine. It's just,
yeah.
it's a lot. So yeah, you're right to have that inclination and that feeling. So I'm glad you were able to prove it to yourself. But like in your head, when you say you were surprised, not surprised, but you proved it to yourself, how long was even winning EBI a dream or a goal of yours?
I mean, like I watched old EBIs. It was definitely up there on my bucket list. I just didn't know it would come this soon. Like I didn't know I'd be invited to an EBI like this early in my career. So obviously it was like a long term goal, but when it actually happened and I got invited, I was like, oh, I could do this like right now. So then it became like priority number one. And yeah.
Okay. As we start to reset, though, when you accomplish a goal, new goals form. So, what are the new goals that you are setting for yourself?
Honestly, just to continue winning big things. I really, I know trials is coming up. I might be there. I have some awesome things lined up for 2026 that I think will be really cool. So I'm hoping to, keep pursuing that.
Okay. Purposefully vague, but I'll let it pass. Because whenever somebody says, got really big things coming in 2026, I'm like, I want to know what they are. So I'm gonna let those pass because I want them to come to fruition. But
So,
having said that, you mentioned you might be at trials. For you, is it still that you would be somewhat undersized in that weight class, or would you feel at home at that weight class?
honestly, it's at 145, so I would feel more at home than I do at 155. Just because it's closer to like smaller people. Obviously, it doesn't make a difference because the same people at 155 or 145. So it's like, what's the difference? But I guess like on paper, you could say it looks better for me. So I mean, I don't have an issue with that.
You didn't have an issue at 155 at all, but it is intriguing to see how that goes. And especially when you had 180ers in disguise in that weight class at PGF, where you were like, this dude's a
Yeah,
little
like
big.
Chris Olivo. I think I was huge.
I mean, Chris was in the 205 region for one of them, even when he was competing at 190 and the 205 division. But I remembered when he did the trials for the 205, I sent him a note and I just went, Bud, what weight are you right now? Like, I know you've gotten thicker since I've seen you, but I don't think you gained weight like that. And he goes, no, I'm undersized. And I go, okay, cool to
Makes
know. So
sense.
then he became a terrorist in the other side where it was like, oh no, he's
Then you
going to
went
go try to
crazy.
sabotage this shit, man.
I mean, he's already a big like 170. Like if you look at him, like he's not a small guy. To make 155 is just like, bro. I don't know how he did that for real.
I don't either, but it paid off for him because he looked very impressive in that class and he was
He did.
definitely banging up some people. But man, what a crazy thing to do, to be competing that undersized at one and then you look completely oversized in the second. But let's get back to you here. Okay. What happens for celebration? I know the next day you get to go celebrate with friends and family, where you have this trip that's planned. But like, do you do anything that
Mm.
night to celebrate the win and commemorate it?
I remember going straight back to Houston because the plan was like if let's say I didn't do too well, I was just gonna stay the night at the hotel and go back to Houston the next day. But that night I was like I have to go back. So I think the celebration was just getting to go back home early and really like bask in the glory of my win. So I think I just got to enjoy myself really.
Good for you. All right. So that's kind of where we're stopping off in terms of that year. How would you describe your 2025? Like we're starting to get towards the end of the year for you.
Mm.
How would you describe this year in your jiu-jitsu journey so far?
I think it was my most pivotal year yet. I had a lot of cool performances. In the beginning of the year, I had joined like one of my first, black belt brackets where I fought the current UFC champ Carlos Enrique. That was really cool. It was a big test for me. Um, and then from then on, I'm trying to remember like go through the whole year. I remember what I did. I just remember doing the PGF qualifier. That was something pivotal in me because that took a lot of energy to win and do. It had so many matches. I just remember coming home that night and like just standing in the shower, like staring at the shower head and being like, "Wow." Um, I'm trying to go out more throughout the year. Obviously, PGF. The main things throughout the year for me were the PGF qualifiers, and PGF itself, and then obviously now EBI. I think my year really got started about halfway through. Obviously, a lot of preparation in the first half, but my year really like kicked off about halfway through and PGF started. So I'm kind of thankful for that.
Good man. Now we've got to catch up on a couple other things. So you were
Mm.
telling me right before we got on air, and this is something I did want to follow up with you. You now are on season 5 of Better Call Saul, or you
I
just
just
finished it?
finished it.
You just finished it. So there's just really the one season left that they broke up into 2 parts, right? Okay. I need to ask some qualifying questions here. First, what is your current favorite episode of the series thus far?
Um, okay. I'm gonna say things that'll probably spoil out of the show, so viewer
It's okay.
discretion
People have had
advised.
time.
People, it's been a while. I think I mean, definitely one of them is probably the last episode where Lalo basically kills all the hitmen and then like walks
Mm.
angrily like out of the driveway. I don't know what it was about that last scene, but that like had me like, whoa. Like, cause Lalo's usually like a happy-go-lucky kind of guy, and he looked really serious. So I was like, wow, that's crazy. Um, Another one of my favorite episodes. Trying to go back to it. When another crazy moment was when Saul was in the desert and those the people pulled
Mm.
up on him, and then Mike came out of nowhere and saved him. that was crazy because I thought Saul was like done for. I was like, this is it. I was like, he's gonna like get captured or something. So that was really cool. Of the whole, I'd say of season 5, those are my 2 favorite moments. Of the whole season, oof, it's got to be definitely the courtroom. It has to be because that one was just like a gigantic moment, and it really showed like, wow. Like I didn't have any words after it other than wow. That was crazy.
Yeah.
So I guess I just definitely had to say like the courtroom,
The
like the part was
mhm.
just wild.
the I have to remember this properly, and if I'm not, that's okay. But the connection between the brothers from, the courtroom scene to them being back at the house before the fire happens, like the last
Yeah,
exchanges that they had together, I remember being like, dude, Michael McKean is mostly known as a comedic actor who is in like Laverne and Shirley. He was on SNL briefly. He's part of Spinal Tap. A bona fide comedic legend in his way,
yeah,
being so nasty and mean and having all the justification in the world to hate his brother and just spewing this out. I thought, yo, this dude needs the Emmy. Like, I was on
yeah.
the high. Bob Odenkirk was overdue. Rhea Seehorn was overdue. Like, everybody on that show was performing at a high level. So it really bugged me that this is the show, and spoiler for you, that won 0 Emmys. And it is
It's like
astounding to me.
how I don't know how. Another one of my favorite scenes. I guess not my favorite, but the one that I was like, dang, was the one where he's like, he never really mattered all that much to me, and
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, and I was like, okay, like, jeez.
Well, now that I hear you're on season 6, it tells me that's going to end soon. Do you have a new show ready to load up after this is done?
I do not. I'm only watching Better Call Saul because I just rewatched Breaking Bad, and I was like, I haven't seen this. I might as well start it. So it's taken me all this time to actually get up to finishing it. So I don't know what I'm gonna start next. I'm really like, I'm down for whatever.
Do you do comedies or dramas? Where are you on the pantheon of shows?
And anything that and I'm not picky. Anything that's entertaining, I will enjoy it.
Okay. Um yeah, I mean, there's a ton of very good shows. It's
Yeah,
hard to be that level of good. That's the hard part of trying to hit that benchmark. Um
yeah.
Okay, I'll think about that, and I might recommend some in a little bit. But like, you seem like somebody who might enjoy The Wire. I'm not sure, but that is one of the best all time as well. Sopranos, it's pretty
Yeah.
freaking good.
I heard
So
Sopranos was nice.
it's one of the top tier acted TV series of all time, and the performances are phenomenal. Everybody's great, and it felt like event television back in the day. For that, you would not want to miss one of those. So I
Yeah.
would recommend those. And if you want comedies, I've got you covered. Like, literally, Arrested Development, my favorite show of all time. The first 3 seasons, untouchable, legitimately.
Mm.
And more and more. But for right now, the other thing I wanted to follow up with you about is we had talked about you doing all of this stuff and great things at EBI, but you've recently made your own Patreon. And to me, the way that you broke down your matches is a great demonstration of what people might see or expect on your Patreon. So what was the impetus to finally get behind this and start making your own Patreon?
You're probably gonna laugh at me, but I saw Christos made one, and I was like, that'd be sick to make one too.
So
I
hold
was
on.
like, I saw him make one, and I was like, "Damn, that'd be so cool."
Did you tell him this?
I mean, I like talked about it with him. Like, I just was like, "Oh, that's like so cool." And then we talked about it a bit more, and I was like, "I think I'm gonna make one."
And what did he say when you said that?
He just thought it was cool. He was like, "Sick."
I mean, Christos is he's very behind his friends, and you are one of his friends. So I could see how
Yeah.
he could get behind that. It is just very funny where I've been doing this so long that sometimes I have suspicions that people are doing something that I'm doing without ever like telling me a heads up, like, hey, by the way, I did this. And I want to say that
Yeah.
something an organization did 5 years ago, I now work with that guy. And during a conference call, he's like, oh, Raph, I stole that idea from you. And I was like,
You're like,
so I'm not insane. Like, it's a pretty big organization. You got, okay, all right. Good to know me 5 years ago. So I can only imagine when it happens in real time. You're just like, hey, Christos, cool that you made your own Patreon. Would be a shame if somebody else made a Patreon that also talks about jiu-jitsu and also charges people, because you think about disposable income for people. And sometimes you think, oh man, people are only going to pay so much for Patreon. Maybe the same person's not going to buy 2 Patreons for people who are training together and both very good at what they do. So what has been some of the more fulfilling things about doing it so far? Because for you, if you're geeked out on jiu-jitsu and you really start to build that base, it is going to be a great use of your time.
Yeah. I mean, it really has been. I've only had it up for about a week. I'm posting daily, so I think I have about 8 videos. But they're all like really awesome information. Like I'm breaking down some of my EBI matches. I got 11 people subscribed already, so I mean I get to talk with them a little bit, and they're great people. So I'm really enjoying the, I guess, community aspect, and I like to nerd out about jiu-jitsu. So I get paid to do what I love.
Small advice from a longtime content creator.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it every day.
Yeah.
Just, I know you're trying to get people a bang for their buck while you're like starting to load them in. It does get tiring. But if you are going to post something every single day like that, just vary it. It doesn't have to be a video. It doesn't have to be this. Literally just post like a blog or a question post. I think when you develop that community, as you're asking them questions, they're going to tell you more of what they want to see. And your number one client is whoever's paying for it. So half the time, just take a poll or do some sort of questionnaire that just goes, what do you want me to talk about? And watch those people pick your brain, and they have an attachment to the unique things that you bring to the table. So when you were telling me, you were like, yeah, I just started last week. And you're like, I put up something every day. I go, my brother and Patreon.
My brother
Not need to do that. I want to make sure that you are spared time so that you can go watch the next season of Better Call Saul before 2026 ends. Because even from the last time I talked to you really in August, you were like, yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm getting caught up and I'm doing this. And I go, it took you that long to watch one season.
It did. I mean, it took me a while. I'm distracted. And the past like week, I locked in.
Good man. But I would say this. What is your best pitch? If I'm sitting here and there's 40 million Patreons, like what is your pitch that you tell people why they should go to yours?
Honestly, I'll be like, do you want high-level jiu-jitsu at the price of a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich? He'd be like, is that a yes? I'm sure that's a yes. I'd be like, then I got just the product for you.
This is the most specific, like, product tie-in I think I've ever heard.
Look, I love Chick-fil-A, so I was like, what do I like? I was like, what do people like? I was like, let me bring that together.
So I have to guarantee you this. The one thing that I will applaud you for is the next time I pull up my Chick-fil-A app, I will probably think of you. Like, I'll probably pull it out and be like, well, it's effective in that way. But, like, I don't think people need to put down a Chick-fil-A to go see you. I think what they really want to see is the newly crowned EBI champ, a guy who is doing incredible numbers, one of the top point scorers at the PGF, is here at your disposal. You can pick his brain. You can ask him questions about technique. You can ask him about chains or Bengal cats or even the 3rd season of Better Call Saul, which people think was pretty good, but then it got even better. So what I'm saying here is, if you're looking for a pitch or a hook, I think the real hook is this. If this is where you're at in 2025, what can people expect in 2026? So why not buy now before everybody else gets caught up on the train and they'll be late to that train.
Exactly. Thank you for making that for me. I'm gonna steal that from you. I'll give you the credit at least.
You can 100% clip that. That is the whole purpose we do this here, sir. But for me, I just feel like there's a kind of cool recognition that you had when we were talking about you winning a championship belt, where you said, I felt like I proved to myself I could win it. And I think you're now in an era where you have to accept you are that guy. And that in order to go to the next steps, you have to not only come to terms with it, but build bigger and loftier goals that seem crazy to other people. Because I feel like at the young age of 19, we're not even seeing your peak form. And I really do feel like if you are going on this journey, you have a unique spot with this Patreon that you're going to start to catalog this journey where it almost becomes a journal and people can now be an active part of that journey with you. So I think that's why it's kind of a cool thing to be able to hear you say out loud, like, yeah, I think I want to make one of these things. Because who doesn't want to have a community of fellow nerds talking about jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, exactly. That was my thought process.
Well, good. Landon, we are circling the end of this, and I would love to give you an opportunity to shout out all the people who helped make you you. So right now, I'm going to put the camera on you. Feel free to shout out sponsors, teammates, friends, whoever you want that helped you not only have an incredible EBI experience, but also an incredible 2025.
Honestly, yeah. Shout out to, first off, my sponsors, Level Black, best gear in the business. Shout out to my other sponsor, Eric the Defender. There's the camera. Oh, best lawyer in the business. I just happened to have this pen right here, and I was like, that's a good opportunity. I was like messing with it the whole time, and I was like, wait, this is the Eric pen. I was like, let me put it on the screen. And then shout out to, PGF. I mean, obviously that like kickstarted my, winning streak. So super grateful to them for giving me the opportunity. And just shout out to everyone that supports me, man. I love everybody. I love you too, Raph.
Likewise, kid. You're good people. And I have to tell you, man, it was really fun seeing you have this giant smile on your face when you won that championship. I thought you worked hard for it. And part of the reason why we were disappointed that we didn't see you at the PGF finale is I was like, well, I just want you to have your shot at winning something cool. And then you did it again. So you did it at PGF with your team, and then you did it by yourself. So yeah, you really have had one of the best years in jiu-jitsu in 2025, period. So a lot of congratulations are your way, and the year's still not done. So we'll see what things can happen there, but we're very much rooting for you, my man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you a lot.
Likewise, sir. All right, I'm going to close this bitch up, and then I'll talk to you off air in a second. But my thanks to you, ladies and gents. Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Grappling Hour. A couple quick reminders. First and foremost, if you like the show, like, comment, subscribe. If you don't know what you want to comment on by the end of this video, we are here now, and I'll give you the thing to comment on. In the comment section, tell me this. What's one reason that you would join a Patreon? Doesn't have to be mine. Could be Landon's. But like anybody who has a Patreon, like what's one reason you go there? Is it to connect with the people? Is it to watch videos with them? Is it to pick their brains? Like, I don't know. You tell me. Because now we got to do market research. We got a young man here who's got a Bengal cat that's not going to pay for itself. So we need to figure out this market research as we go. Additionally, like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on Patreon if you like this show. Patreon.com/grappling hour. You can also check out rafesparza.com/merch to get you one of these Grappling Hour t-shirts, a hoodie, and now some tanks. And tanks are currently off sale, I think, by the time you see this. You missed out. Thanks. They're still available. They're just a little more expensive. So get you some, show off the gains if you're questionably on steroids or not. And last but not least, thank you guys so much for watching this show. If you want to continue the conversations we have, check us out on our Discord at Grappling Hour. Ladies and gents, that's going to do it for us here at the Grappling Hour. Thank you so much for watching this episode. We'll catch you the next time. Until then, it's been a great day for grappling. We'll see you back on the mats.